Yo, listen. I got this property right here for free. Yes, that's right. I paid $0. I got an income producing property for nothing. I'm not talking about no money down, 100% financing, or calling up a private lender to wire me in some money to close the deal. No. Today, what we talking about is adverse possession, right? So basically what you do is you squat in the property for as long as you possibly can until you get the squatter rights to the property and now you own it. No, I'm playing. All right. Enough playing around, man. So this property right here that I'm pointing at right here, it cost me $0 out of pocket for me to own. And I'm going to show you how you can do it too. Back in 2019, I had my eyes set on getting a property on the west side of town, closer to the airport, about 10 minutes out. It's a nice area, quiet neighborhoods, a lot of, shopping malls popping up all around, and a lot of new developments and subdivisions and stuff like that is going on in the area at the time, right? So I wanted to get something in the area. But the problem that I'm running into is that people in this area don't typically sell their properties. They live in them, for as long as they can or rent them out and keep them long term, right? So obviously, I'm a real estate investor, so it needed to be a deal. I needed to get it below market value. So after looking at other wholesalers list, negotiating with realtors, and talking to a few leads that came in through our own pipeline, I decided to go out and do something different that I've never done before. So I decided to go to Lowe's. Yes, Lowe's. Now I know you're thinking, why in the hell would you go to Lowe's to try and buy a house? So hear me out. Most people think only investors shop at Lowe's. But in reality, everybody goes to Lowe's, not just real estate investors, right? People go to Lowe's for all types of stuff. They go to Lowe's for picking up nails, doing small home projects, picking up paint, right? Drills, wrenches, just everything, right? Like my auntie go to Lowe's to pick out her mulch for, her flower bed for her landscaping around her house. My girl was in Lowe's looking at Christmas trees the other day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody go to Lowe's. I heard somebody on YouTube say, go to Lowe's in the morning. You can get the cream of the crop contractors, right? People who really are out here doing this business on a daily basis. So I decided one day I'm going to go to Lowe's. So I get to Lowe's around 10 a.m. early, right? I basically missed all the good contractors, right? If you know contractors and you've been in this game a little bit, you know that really good contractors, they get started early. They're at Lowe's. They picking up their materials and stuff 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. They're on their job site starting work at 8 a.m. Here I am thinking I'm going to find like a great contractor or something. But anyway, I went to Lowe's to go and try to connect with more contractors, to try to find more reputable people to work with. And I heard somebody on YouTube say, go to Lowe's. So back in 2019, we had about 5 units in our rental portfolio. We had a condo and we had a triplex that we were working on. So I was told if you go to Lowe's in the morning, you can find the cream of the crop of contractors and people who's really, getting to it. So I was still hopeful that I could find somebody to do some work, on our properties that, we had already acquired, right? Remember I was saying that anybody go to Lowe's for anything? This guy came in there for a bucket of paint. And towards the checkout, right, I'm kind of just hanging over in the checkout area just to kind of see what's going on. It was a little weird. I'm sure the people at the store that day, like the clerks and the self-checkout people, probably was like, what is this guy doing? Is he going to rob us or something? Because I'm just trying to figure it out. Anyway, I see this guy. He got the, 1 bucket of paint, 1 gallon of paint. and, he got paint all over him, right? So I'm like, okay, he must be a contractor. So we get into a conversation and he tells me that he's painting the property so that he can get it ready so that he can list it and sell it because he wants to move to Mexico. We in Lowe's parking lot at this point. I don't want to, badger the guy, but I want to badly, right? Because I just seen an opportunity where we can possibly get another deal, but I don't know any details. I don't know if it really will work. I don't know anything yet. So we just exchanged contact information. The next day, I met the guy out at the property. And here's where things start to get real. So I get to the house next day. He run everything down to me. He tells me that he bought the property 2 years ago. And, he bought it for $160,000 and he's looking to sell it, for as much as he can get. Now, I already ran the comps in the area before I went to the house. So that property all fixed up would be $160,000 max that he could get for the property. Max. He still needed new floors. He still needed new appliances. Like I said, he was covered in paint the day before. He was, getting ready to paint the property. He still has some updates that it was very dated, right? Very dated. Exactly, literally what I was looking for. So I kind of broke this down. I talked to him and I said, hey, look at these other homes in the area. You'll probably get about $160,000 if you do all these upgrades. So, even if you do all these upgrades, you go on the market for $160,000, you'll be bringing money to the closing table. About $12,000 to $14,000 is what it came out to be. So he'll have to pay to sell his property, which is something he didn't want to do, right? I explained I knew this strategy where he could go back to Mexico, not have to fix the property up. We could give him money and we could take over the property. He definitely can take that bucket of paint back to Lowe's. And the name of this method that I broke down to him and the strategy that we used on this deal is subject to. Now, I know some of you already heard about subject to before. For those of you who don't know what subject to is where you purchase the property subject to the existing mortgage. So you would be the owner of the deed, right? But that mortgage note is still in place under the seller's name. And you are now liable for that seller's debt. Even though it's not in your name, you're still liable for that debt if you want to execute this strategy correctly. But the reason I really got excited about this deal is because when I looked at it, it was the perfect deal for subject to, right? He was underwater on it. The property needed, cosmetic updates. It was in the area that I was looking for. The fixed mortgage rate was 3.25%, great interest rate. And it had a pool as well. So you can't beat that. Most Indiana properties don't have a pool that come with them at all. So that was just a plus. So we negotiated. I gave him $8,000. He took that. He moved all his stuff out to Mexico. And he didn't have to, bring that $12,000 to $14,000 to the table. And he didn't have to upgrade the property. So when you calculate all that, it really was closer to about $25,000, $26,000 at least that he would have had to put into the property to, basically break even. So I know you're thinking, right? Like the title of this video says how I got a property for free with a pool. And you just said you bought it for $8,000. Just hold tight. Hold on. I'm getting there. Okay. So a week later, we put the property up for lease option, which means that somebody will have the right to buy or not to buy your property over an extended period of time. Think of it like this. Remember your mama used to take you to Walmart, Kmart back in the day, and, she want to get a new TV, so she'll put it in layaway. That's basically what you're doing. So with the layaway, you'll see that TV, let's say it costs $500. You'll put $50 down to put it in layaway, and you'll keep paying on that TV until you paid it off, and then you can take that TV home, right? But in the meantime, the store, Walmart, can't sell your TV because they already have an agreement with you on a payment plan. So that's basically essentially what we did with this house. In all honesty, it's a lot of people out there that have a lot of money, that, you know, are good people, you know, good working people that got their stuff in order, but they can't qualify to actually buy a property. Maybe they're self-employed. They only have 1 year of tax returns. Maybe their debt to income ratio is a little off. Maybe, you know, whatever. It's numerous reasons of why people can't get qualified. Actually, more people don't get qualified to buy a house than do, right? Lease option can allow a person to put down a down payment and just pay the regular monthly rent over the next few years until they refinance the property or they buy it outright. So what we did is we went forward with the lease option, and we had somebody come and put $10,000 down, and now they're currently paying $2,400 a month for, again, this property right here. And we were able to get a little bit more just because they want to entertain and use the pool and use the deck and use the backyard and all that stuff. They really love that. So we currently have, again, the mortgage payment at $1,450 a month, and we're getting $2,400 a month. So the difference of that is our cash flow, which is $950 a month that we're getting every single month. So not only did we get the house for free, we actually got paid $2,000 to get this house, right? Because the down payment was $10,000, our original payment to the seller was $8,000, and the mortgage that we're paying is $1,450, and they're paying $2,400 a month in rent right now. So, I mean, this is a phenomenal deal, right? So it can happen. It is rare where you find stuff like this, but it is out there if you stay consistent and you got your eye on the prize to be able to find deals like this. So I really like using this strategy of the subject to on the front end and the lease option on the back end, because you're actually kind of creating deals when there's no deals, right? On subject to, I can go to a seller, negotiate the property, get a property from underwater, pay them the difference. And then on the opposite side, I can get somebody into home ownership or potential home ownership, and they can put down a down payment for a good property. And if you line it up right, you can be out of it with no money, or like me, you can make a little bit of money on it. So let me know if you like this video. Put down in the comments if you ever had an experience like this, if you familiar with subject to deals, lease options, creative financing, and make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.